Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. And y'all already know, as we batch record, your girl don't be doing no outfit changes to try to make it look like it's anything other than what it is. Me sitting here trying to get out a bunch of videos at one time. Took my braids out. Oh, y'all ain't here for this. Okay. Y'all, in this video, we're going to talk about our mortgage update, okay? But you know we like to get caught up a little bit because we family, okay? All right, so the last time we did this was back in August, okay? Our mortgage update. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Tinesha Davis. This is for the budget. We talk about all things money related, okay? And through that, you get to know me. Like, as you know, finally took these braids out. This is what it is. It's all things over here, all encompassing. So the last time we did this was in August. I am on a journey. I was really on a journey. I was on a heavy journey before the government shutdown, before the layoff, to pay off this good house of mine. Okay? Bought this house in 2009. It is now 2025. 16 years. 16 years ago, bought this good home. When I first bought this home, I was not on a payoff journey. I felt like many people, a mortgage is huge. It's something that doesn't even look like you can ever pay it off, right? It just felt impossible. And plus, I wasn't on a financial journey when I first bought this house at all. So nothing outside of paying my bills felt realistic to me, right? I always felt like you're always going to have a car payment. You're always going to have a mortgage payment. Hell, you may even always have a student loan payment. But I got rid of that. Not even because of the financial journey, but because they really made me upset. Student loans made me upset because, like a lot of people, I didn't know. I felt like, let's say $4,000. I felt like if I borrow $4,000, I pay you back $4,000. Maybe a little bit of interest. But I did not realize that they compounded interest every day. So when I paid them back their $4,000, then they sent me another bill like, you still owe another $1,000 and something, like change. I'm like, what? Really hurt me. And it wasn't even like $1,000 something. It was almost like the same amount. It was like I paid off $4,000. It was like, no, you still owe $4,000. And it was like, what? And it was like an interest. And that's when I knew I had to get rid of that thing. So that was crazy to me. But there's some people that feel like, you know what? Always going to have a student loan. So I'm not even, maybe I'll pay it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep going into deferment. Maybe I'll go into forbearance. Whatever it is, I can never pay this thing off, so I'm not going to put a lot of energy into trying. And that's how I felt about a house. I can't pay this thing off, so I can use my money in other areas like vacations, like gifts, Christmas, whatever I wanted to put my money on, because it sure wasn't investing. Wasn't that savvy back then. But then it came a time where I was like, you know what? As I'm walking this financial journey life, I was like, I can pay this house off. Let's start putting something extra towards it. And so this is where we are right now. We're at this point, 16 years later, and this is where I am. So the last time we did this was in August, where I owed a little over $86,000 on the mortgage, okay? And so as you see, my mortgage payment is $1,535.91 a month. This does not include escrow. Escrow will be the taxes on the house, and it will also be the insurance on the house. I pay those myself out of my pocket. It's not included in my mortgage, okay? I had that separated some time ago, and I have a video on the escrow being separated. But my interest rate is 2.25%, and this is a VA loan. I have 214 months remaining on the terms of this loan. In September, this is when I knew that I was going to be losing my job. And I decided that I wasn't going to send as much money to pay off the mortgage, because it was like, you know what? It's not even a priority right now. Right now, my priority is just to have more cushion, because who knows when I'll get another job, or who knows if I'll get another job, right? So I made that switch up. So I made my regular mortgage payment of $1,535.91. Of that, $1,374.66 went to the principal. $161.25 went to the interest. Then I made a principal only payment, and this is because I do believe in the exercise of sending energy where your priorities are. So if my priority says I do want to pay this house off right now, I don't know when or how, I'm going to send a little something to it, right? So I sent an additional $25.34 to principal only, and this brought our balance down to $84,600. And then in October, I made my mortgage payment of $1,535.91. Of that, $1,377.28 went to the principal. $158.63 went to interest. I then made a principal only payment, and let me tell you, habits are hard to break. I made a habit, which isn't a bad thing, but I made a habit of sending larger chunks of money. So even though the month before I only sent $25, clearly I was like, listen, if I send $222.72 to the principal only, it will give us an even round number of $83,000 that I owe on the house. And so that's what I did, okay? That was the month of October. Now it is November, and you guys are going to come and make this mortgage payment with me. So let's go and do that. This is how I figure out how much I want to send to the mortgage. I take a look at my statement, right? So you can pull up your statement, and it's going to tell you in the explanation of amount due how much is going to go to the principal and how much is going to go to interest. So right here it says $1,380.28 will go to the principal. $155.63 will go to the interest. I then subtract those numbers from my balance, the $83,000 that I owe, and I kind of see how does that number look and how much more can I add to it to make it a nice round number, right? So it was like if I do $619.72, that will put me down to $81,000. Let's see what happens. Let's go in here and make this payment. Okay, so we're going to go in to make our mortgage payment, okay? We're going to confirm everything. So right here we see that the regular mortgage payment doesn't let you uncheck this, just checking, of $1,535.91 is being made, right? And then we're going to do the additional principal payment based off of what we figured out. And I'm looking at some of my past principal only payments, and I'm like, girl, you didn't even make this big of a payment then, so why are you doing it now? I don't know. But right now we have $619.72. And I am struggling with this only because the government is shut down right now, right? Government is shut down. Right now I'm getting paid off of my PTO that I still have saved up. When the government opens back up, I only have 2 weeks of work left before I'm unemployed again. And so I'm like, you really don't have to send $619 toward this mortgage extra. You don't. It's not gonna move your position in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's not gonna lighten your burden or anything. This could better serve me if I say, you know what, put it back in savings, and this can make another car payment. This can pay all your utility bills. This could pay half of your mortgage. It can do so many other things. Why am I doing this? Oh gosh, it's not necessary. And while I'm talking this out with you guys, this is really helping me because I'm like, you know what? We're not gonna do $619.72. We like to keep everything at a nice even number, but what if we just did half of that? What if we did $319.72? And then stick away $300 for the future.
You guys, you know, we had this conversation before where I said I'm not going to be sending big chunks extra because, you know, the future is the future. We're going to do 319.72. That works for us. So 319.72 additional principal, all right? Not additional future payment. This, putting it here won't do anything to move our interest lower. Putting it here is what's going to move that interest, what we're paying in interest lower. So 319.72 extra. And that's still going to give us a nice round number, a nice even number. The 1972 is what does that. Today is the 6th of November. And so we're going to pay this. So we see that $1,855.63 is what's going to the mortgage overall. Submit that, and boom, it was done. It's paid.
All right. So now that we decided on that, y'all helped talk me off the ledge. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Because again, habits are hard to break. I got a habit of sending larger chunks. And normally in the past, I would send extra 2,000, extra 5,000, things like that to the mortgage. So to me, I was like, okay, 600, that's not a lot. But it's like, but girl. You don't know, you ain't got a job like that anymore. Yeah, you're still getting some money coming in, but you need a stash. You need to stash up that money for your future self, right? Because what if you choose to take the rest of this time and just travel the world? What if you choose to do that? Every dollar is going to count. Every dollar matters. The house is not important right now. It's manageable. You can do this. So now that we got that where it is, let's see how much we will owe on the house. Being that we just made the payment and it's not going to give us a nice neat number just yet. Let me go back in here and check. Let me see if the maybe it updated. Okay, yes, it updated. So this brings us to a beautiful balance that we owe on this house of $81,300 even. That's the round number. Even. Preferably in zeros, right? So I'm so excited about that. Let me take a screenshot. The other thing that I find interesting about this is this past payments breakdown section on my statement. And so far to date, right? And this is actually not to date right now, to date as of October, because we just made this payment, so this payment isn't factored in. But as of October, so far to date, it shows that for the year, I have paid $49,617.45 on the house. And the breakdown for that, which I love this breakdown, the breakdown is of that money, $47,750 actually went to the principal of the home, and $1,867.45 went to interest. I love that. Because you know how they say, oh, when you have a house, the majority of the money is going to go to the interest and not the principal. Well, I worked hard so that we can get to a point where the majority of my money, when I make a payment, goes on this good house and not to interest. So I love that right there. And so there you have it, guys. That's where we are on this mortgage payoff journey. We are a little over $81,000. I cannot wait till we're under $75,000. That's going to feel epic. Don't know when we're going to be there, guys, because again, with the whole not knowing what's happening with my career and my earning potential anymore, throwing large sums at the house just isn't a priority anymore. But I am still holding on hope, and I can't wait to see the day that we actually do have this house paid off for good. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. But thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up. Let me know how y'all feel about my tangents. I know the people who know me probably feel fine about it. New people are probably like, girl, if you don't get to the point, and I know you're like that because actually I'm like that when I watch new people I don't know and I'm just trying to see the update. Just get to the point. But thumbs up, subscribe, talk to me down there in the comments, and I'm going to see you all in the next video. All right? All right. Peace.